So you're looking at a rooftop tent and you're trying to learn everything you need to know before you purchase one. Well, hopefully in this video, I answer all of your questions and you're able to choose the tent that's right for you. Common questions right off at the get-go is, what style of tent? How many people? What kind of camping am I going to be doing? So in this video, I'll go over a few different features of all of them and kind of give you all you need to know. This is a wall of tents of different variations, from an inflatable on the bottom right to a side entry to a clamshell to a storybook to a large storybook to a vertical to the new Bush Cruiser that has the clamshell with that extended piece on the front there, giving you about an extra 8 inches of clearance on your headspace. Then you got one up here, which is a half a storybook, which opens up sideways, and then you have side entry access, and all the guts will come out, either your driver's side or your passenger side, depending how you have it mounted. These are different variations of tents that you can use. So you basically, what you need to do is you need to figure out how many people are going to be sleeping in it. That would determine what size and what style you should be going for. So a very unpopular one is an inflatable tent. These ones can be done on the ground or they can be on the roof of the truck. The pros and cons to the inflatable one is the fact that it's a quick and easy assembly as long as you've got it hooked up. Most tents come with LED lights inside of them, but this is a very unpopular one, so don't put this one on your spectrum for you to purchase. Each rooftop tent will come with a ladder, your mounting hardware, and most of them offer load bars, which would go on top. If you've got a family that is 2+ more, you're best off getting a storybook style, because on the outside of them, they don't look very big. But when you're inside, they're quite deep and long. Okay. Here's another storybook one. Things to consider when purchasing them is, do they have a rain fly over top? Right? That's a huge thing, because most of these tents, if they don't have a rain fly, you're going to get soaked if you put your head against the fabric and the material. Another thing to focus on is mounting methods. How is it going to get mounted? Is it going to get mounted on a load bar? Does it need a platform rack? Do you have racks and platforms on your vehicle already? If you don't, you can purchase them from either a Thule, Alu Cab, Smart Cap, and the list goes on and on. So any vehicle can have any kind of rooftop tent mounted to them. As you can see, they'll come with telescopic ladders like so, and then they'll either mount in whichever way. Some will have these bags on the side of them. Those are actually shoe bags or garbage bags, if you will. So if you're going up here at the end of the night and you go up there and your shoes are dirty, obviously you don't want to have that inside of your tent, right? Because then you're just going to make a mess of your tent on the inside, right? Most tents are mounted as so, with band clamps, as you see here, right? So they have tracks that go along them where screws and T-bolts will go through. Once the T-bolts have gone through, then you can put a band clamp on there, which would resemble your load bar and then your band clamp. Okay, and that's basically how they are. Now, as any rooftop tent out there, it is your responsibility as an owner to always check and make sure that your hardware is tight and secure. I highly recommend you do that before any kind of long drive. Just give it a quick look at, or even like a kind of twist, just to make sure that you don't lose your rooftop tent. Some people, what they'll do is they'll incorporate and put Loctite on their threads to actually hold it down further. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works best for you. Here's another one that's very popular, which I'll show you. It's a clamshell style. With the clamshell style, you lose the space between how many people can go into it. This is a 2-person one, if that. I wouldn't go any more than 2 in there unless you like to squeeze and sleep with very close proximities of each other. This is a new upgrade that they've done here, where they have this bracket. Before this bracket came out, they weren't very well designed and advertised, just because you would lose that space. So instead of it being this wide, you'd actually have it pinched down here, so it would be more like an angle like that. So now that they've done that, you get a lot more head space or feet space depending on which way you want to sleep in there, right? Most of these tents, they come with your organizational pockets up top, and then you've got your side pockets down there, and then they'll have their bug screens and then the privacy screens. And the majority of these tents, they do come with LED lights inside. As you can see right there, there's a light bar strip there. Another popular one is the vertical one here. So this is this one is called a Z Cruiser. And this Z Cruiser, it actually pops up straight up. When you close it, it closes as a Z for it to actually close, but it's quite popular because you do get that cool overhang on the one side here. So when your ladder is attached on the side, you actually can go up and down without getting rained on if you are in a climate where it's a lot more known for rainfall. This is a nice big comfy one. It's usually about 80 inches in length and about 58 width. Weight on most average tents, you're looking at somewhere in the realm of 150 to 275, depending on how big. And then you would have to play a factor of as what kind do you want? Do you want a quick pop open? Do you want to have one where you actually open? So most of these storybooks, how they open, except for this one right here in front of us, they open up. You would have a case that goes over top, or a zipper. You would unzip it, peel that cover over, flip it over, and then you would have your ladder to hang and hold it upright. And then you would pop open your tent like that. When it's raining out, a con for a lot of people is they don't want to deal with the fact of having to close up the tent, then put the fly back over, and getting soaked on while you're doing it. Lots of people like to have that speed where they can just show up to a campsite or their campground and they just 2 latches and boom, pops it open. Which kind of brings you into the realm of the alu-cab ones over there, which do that. But specifically working on these tents, at the end of the day, it all comes down to these few options. How many people are going to sleep in it? What style do you want? What kind of camping are you going to be doing? And how long do you want to keep the tent for? So with all those factors in mind, that's how you should be making your choice. If you're 2 or under, a clamshell one is really nice if you want to have a quick pop up and go. If you've got a family over 2, you got 3, 4, 5, then a storybook is the way to go for you. If you're a single camper out there, anything like the small light cruiser here or a 1 person is sufficient. Do yourself a favor and stay away from all inflatable ones. I've camped in them. It's not fun. They're cheap, and they're cheap for a reason. There are so many tents out there that you can choose from, and just to rattle a few off, you've got Wildlands, you've got Alu-Cab, you've got ARB, you've got Ironman, you've got a bunch of other knockoff ones there, right? You got iCamper. The list just goes on and on and on. So the best thing to do is they all have the same kind of setup and design. Just look at them, compare them, and find out what's the best thing for you. But anyways, hopefully that answers a lot of your questions. I think I got everything on there. Just remember how many people are going to be in it. What style are you wanting? Remember the styles are this. You've got clamshell, storybook, half a storybook, vertical, inflatable. You got 5 styles out there. So hopefully that answers your questions. Each ladder will come with the mounting hardware, and majority of them do come with load bars, so you can put things on top. Just remember, if you are putting anything on top with using the load bars, it does have that weight restriction. So last thing you want to do is you don't want to wake up in the morning with your tent closed on top of you because you've left a heavy kayak or some equipment on top of it. Therefore, it's came down on you. Most struts and everything that it's held up with do last a long time. And they do have a lot of heavy payload on them, so it doesn't happen often. But yeah, hopefully that kind of gets it all. I know that's I overlapped a few times, but that's basically it. Inflatable here. You've got a half a storybook here. You've got a clamshell here. You've got a storybook here. You got a storybook here. You got a vertical here. You got a half a storybook here, and then you got another clamshell out there. That's just a few to kind of rattle off and kind of get you an idea of what you'd be looking at. But yeah, if you have any comments, questions, or anything, please hit it down in the comment section below. I'd be happy to answer any questions to help you pick that tent that's right for you. Price-wise, we'll talk about that real quick. If you're in Canada, price-wise between a rooftop tent, $1,500 I've seen them get up to like $7,000. And now again, it all depends on, are they on sale, what brand they are and whatnot. Tents and rooftop tents, there are so many out there to choose from. So it is important to always keep your eyes open and look for the best deal. They do go on sale. Keep that in mind, right? They are always going on sale. People are always advertising them. You know, there's summer specials, there's spring specials, there's winter specials. Keep it in mind when you're purchasing one. Don't go too cheap. Going too cheap just gets things problematic. You're going to get wet. Your brackets aren't going to hold. The awning material is going to rip and tear, right? So a good price point for a rooftop tent is somewhere around the $2,000. That's a tent that will last you for the next probably 3 to 7 years, depending on how well you treat it. Finally, last thing I will say is talking about upkeep of tents. Upkeep of tents. It is your responsibility as an owner of a rooftop tent. Same thing as you would on a floor tent. If it's pouring rain out and you go camping and you close it all up, when you get home, open it up and air it out. Same concept with a rooftop tent. They are made to have water moisture come out of the tent. However, be that one step up. Open it up, let it air out so you don't get any mold or mildew in there, because that's the last thing you want to have on a place that you're going to be spending your nights sleeping, right? So it's important to air out your tent. Our tents and my tent specifically, I air it out once a month if I'm not using it. If I have been camping quite aggressively in it, I do it maybe 2 or 3 times for that month. And doing that, you just literally open it up, unzip all the flies, and let the wind do its thing. It's even better if it's sunny out, because that'll help with any kind of moisture that's in the tent. It'll get rid of it. But that's about it. Check your latches, check your hardware, make sure they're tight, make sure that the load bars that they're on are able to hold the payload of the tent when it's both dynamic and static. And again, keep your eyes open out there. There's so many variations of different rooftop tents out there for you to choose from. Don't limit yourself to one option. Think it through, make sure it's the right tent for you. Most rooftop tents are not returnable, so once you purchase it, it is yours. Again, thanks for watching. Any questions, please feel free to comment in the section below. Hopefully I didn't rabble on and bore you guys, and I showed you quite a few different variations and things to do. You've seen how they all get mounted. You see what they look like, all the different options out there for you to choose from. If you have any questions, hit it down below. Thank you. Comment, like, and subscribe, please. Trying to grow the channel. All of you watching out there, thank you so much for your support and watching my videos over the years. I'm not a videographer by any trade, but I appreciate all the support that I've been getting, and I hope to continue to grow the channel with you. Thanks again. And there's another short video out there for a free giveaway. I'm giving away 2 fridges or a Mac track board. All you gotta do is subscribe, comment, and like on it, and then you're entered in. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye now.